Welcome to Justice is Served.
I love it, man. I knew it was coming. That was a title I think I came up with a while ago.
You sure did.
Justice is served. So this
Which
is
fit
going
better when we kept the original podcast name.
You know what though? I still like it. It's an homage to the old podcast.
It is.
It's a way to tie everything together. So for you folks out there, you're in for a treat tonight.
This is bonus content that we could also just release as a regular episode of us bullshitting.
This is what happens behind the scenes after we're done with our podcast. So we could just be candid on here, just recap. We recorded that last episode, got it all downloaded, and then I made myself a nice adult beverage.
That beautiful Blood Eagle. I thought about doing a complete wardrobe change.
Oh, that would have been great.
I was gonna put on like a sports coat.
Dude, we should,
or like a ski mask.
I've got a Packers jersey right behind me. We should just do that, man. Just
really mess with.
Yeah.
Fuck
with everything. Yeah, and if you folks out there are lucky enough and privileged enough to be hearing this right now, we may even throw the video in there as well. We
probably will.
I think we will.
Our first installment of the Fat Boy Diaries.
Yeah, let's hear. How was the trip? How did everything go?
Pretty wonderful, actually. A lot of driving, but
yeah, you took off from
that. Left San Antonio
from your homeland.
Homeland. Left and drove out to New Orleans.
I want to. Sorry to cut you off, but I want to become a saucier down in San Antonio, just like Kirk Lazarus did in Tropic Thunder.
Ooh.
I was a saucier down in San Antonio. Like I want that. But anyway, go on. So you're now in Nolans.
Now in Nolans. Started off strong. We went to a restaurant called Turkey and the Wolf, which I've known about for a while. I got the collard green melt.
Wait, is it like a burger with collard greens on it?
No, so it was like
so you think of like a patty melt. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It was kind of more like maybe a Reuben.
Oh.
So you got your rye bread.
That had collard greens on it?
Yeah, it was rye bread, collard greens, another slice of bread, more collard greens.
How was it? Scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, it's fucking so good.
Are we talking like 11? It was an 11?
I'll give it a 10 for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It was as far as sandwiches go, it's a perfect sandwich.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. And then I ate half of Lindsay's sandwich.
You're like, I'm still hungry.
She got.
So wait, you ate half half of your pregnant wife's sandwich?
No, she wasn't gonna finish it. She was full. I think she had like snacked closer to us arriving.
Okay.
Than I did because I just held out. I'm just like, I'm not.
They're like, you ate half of your pregnant wife's meal. I'm like, she's gonna kill you.
Sidebar. Last time she was pregnant with my first.
For everybody out there, that means he's had sex at least twice now. At least twice that we know of.
So we went out. We went out for our anniversary to like a brunch spot. It's a seafood restaurant in LA. But they do brunch. So she had their breakfast sandwich just filled with all this like fried clams, just fried seafood.
Yeah.
And this big ass fried clam plopped out of her sandwich.
just
sitting on her plate. Out. And it looked really good. So I reached over.
You just plucked it right off the plate?
Plucked it off it's just one little piece fell out of the sandwich.
Sure. This huge fried clam is now just this one little piece. The story has changed in 30 seconds.
Move. This was a safe move. I thought we were in a safe space.
Did she like turn into like
I have
an alligator and snapped your hand off, or
I secured the clam and ate it, and it was delicious. And I have never heard the end of it. Like to this day.
Yeah, that clam is never coming back. It's gone. You just got to tell her right there. You got to let it go. It's gone. This clam is not coming back.
She's like, you stole from me and you stole from your child.
That's okay.
Papa's got to eat too. It was worth it. It looks so good.
So after New Orleans, are you still in New Orleans at this point?
Oh yeah, this was like right when we pulled into town. We went straight to the restaurant.
Okay,
I've been waiting like 4 years to go to this place. So
this has been on your radar for.
It's been on my list for a long time. Like during when COVID hit, I bought like a bunch of merch from their store because they're trying to like just sell merch to stay open.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not letting this place close before I get there. So I bought a bunch of merch and stuff. So finally went.
Nice.
It was delightful. So it was everything I hoped it would be.
So what else did you do in New Orleans? You didn't just go to this one restaurant and keep driving, right?
No, we hung out, ate. I'd been twice before, but Lindsay and the kid had not. So we did all the touristy stuff.
Did you go to Cafe Du Monde?
We did go to Cafe Du Monde the last day.
Beignets.
Oh, so fucking good.
That's like if I go to New Orleans, it's like of all the touristy things I want to do, it's Cafe Du Monde.
Yeah, they're just delightful. I mean, it tastes like a funnel cake essentially.
And who doesn't like funnel cakes? I mean,
exactly.
Are they like soft in the middle, like a little crisp on the outside, or they're just
nice,
soft throughout?
Yeah, they're a little crisp on the outside, so you get a nice little bite. Yeah, it's good.
It's just so much sugar on it.
So much fucking powdered sugar.
Oh, it's just like snowed on top of it.
Oh yeah, it's like they put the beignets in the bag and they just dump like 2 cups of powdered sugar on there.
They just said, "Fuck it, this is New Orleans. We all just like
rip the bag open. And it's just like your beignets. You pick them up and there's still like just like crack rocks of powdered sugar.
Oh yeah,
just left in the bag. So good though.
That's
you just kind of like dip it in there after you bite.
And then you start breaking up the crystals and they just kind of explode into dust piles of deliciousness.
Yeah, pretty much. It's so fucking good though.
So New Orleans sounds like a good time.
New Orleans was delightful. Rained every day our entire trip.
Like the whole road trip? Or just the whole in New Orleans?
Every city we were in, it rained every day.
Oh my God.
We got lucky though. It would either like the rain would move back later in the day.
Sure.
So we're like, we don't care. We're already in the hotel, whatever. Try to keep the kid on a semi sleep schedule.
Sure.
Not really.
Best you can.
Yeah. But yeah, it usually rain like during his nap time. So like 1:00, we'd hit the hotel for a little, relax. Rain was done. But yeah, every day.
That sounds like the worst part of it, right? Because like if you go on vacation, you don't want to go walk around and what's raining out. Like it's just then you got to get in your car and you're all wet, you know.
Yeah. And we pretty much walked, at least in New Orleans, we walked everywhere because.
And it was just raining the whole time.
Well, the hotel parking was like $45. There's no in and outs, so you're just paying $45.
And then you just park your car there, and it's just you leave it.
Yeah, so we found like some other lot and parked like for like $20, and I was like, "Fine, we're done." And we just walked everywhere, but we only got rained on once, I think. It wasn't too bad.
You spend a couple days in New Orleans, or
yeah, I did 3 days in New Orleans. Then we drove up to Nashville for 3 days.
Okay, how long is that drive? That's got to be like a full day, right?
That was like 7 hours, I think.
So long.
Yeah, and in my older age, I've started. Well, it's partly for the kid, but we leave at 3 a.m.
Oh, dude, I don't even know that 3 a.m. exists.
Yeah. So like we'll wake up at like 2:30, load up whatever we have in the car, load the kid up, and we're usually out like on the road by 3. So you get into the next town or wherever you're going super early, which is cool because you get a longer day.
Right.
But driving sucks that early. And you can never check into your hotel when you get there.
No, of course not. Because they're like, yeah, can we get an early check-in? And they're like, nah, dog, you check in at 4:00 or get out, right? Yeah.
And why is check-in so
what? Right. So they boot everybody out. Like checkout's always like 11 or 12, right?
Yeah.
Do you really need 4 hours for somebody to clean my room?
No. I imagine most of these hotels have empty rooms.
Right.
Pretty much at all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then don't give me the option. It's nice that you have the option to like pick your room now.
Right.
Don't do that. Just like have rooms available and just cycle through them as you clean.
Yeah.
And let people check in early.
Yeah. The hotel system is a broken system when you think about that. It's like so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Why is check-in 4:00? I want to know if anybody listening to this works at a hotel. Tell me why check-ins at 4:00. I need actual evidence.
I get that they're cleaning rooms.
Oh, I understand that.
But like, not all rooms are being cleaned at the same time until 4:00.
Right. If you clean one room, move to the next. That room is now ready. Like somebody can get an early check-in or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, hotels. Get it.
Do better.
Do better.
Do better.
So you're in Nashville. What'd you do?
We're in Nashville. 8 more.
course.
And
Was this just basically a food adventure?
pretty much all our vacations since we got married have been food vacations.
That's basically what we do too.
I mean,
it's a
I
food
don't
vacation.
like, I don't love touristy stuff. Like that was our first time in Nashville, so we walked down like the main strip, like Broadway, where all the like country bars are.
Yeah, a
I don't
bunch
like
of neon signs and stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't like country music. We just like we
Yeah, me
walked up
neither.
and down just to say we did it.
Right.
Yeah, other than that, we were just kind of like hitting up food spots we'd wanted to try. Or
Did you get some Nashville hot chicken?
I did.
Oh, how was it? Where'd you go and how was it?
We went to Prince's.
Okay.
I rewatched pretty much every show I had seen it on just to see what everyone was ordering.
You were literally just going, well, if it's on TV, it must
Because I
be
wasn't sure. Well, I knew that this one and like one other one were like the OGs. So I had to try an OG one.
good. Okay.
Um,
Is that just like chicken, pickles, probably?
yeah,
Like
it's
slaw?
like they put bread on the bottom. It's like white, like your Wonder Bread.
Right.
Put the chicken on top, pickles, and that was it.
Okay. Just chicken, pickles, bread.
Yeah, I
Real
went with the
simple.
medium.
So it was only about that big?
Yeah, it was really good. Like the
Yeah.
medium was the spice level.
Oh, spice level.
So it was like, yeah. And I got the chicken strips. I think most people just
got
go
the
for
chicken strips.
but- I don't like fucking with all the bones and shit.
No, I completely wait. Did Nashville hot chicken sandwiches have bones in them normally?
Those don't. So
I was
like,
why would you put bones on a
well,
on a
it's like
sandwich?
standard hot chicken. Like if you get Nashville hot chicken, it's it's chicken. Like you get
So
like
it's not a
your-
sandwich.
No, it's not a sandwich.
Okay.
You get like your breast or your like leg and thigh.
Okay.
Yeah, you get your white meat or your
The
dark
more
meat.
you know.
Yeah.
I always assumed Nashville hot chicken was always sandwiches.
Well, it's because it's
for some
always a
reason.
sandwich out like everywhere else that's
Right.
not Nashville.
Okay.
And I think like when I had it in like a spot in Westlake opened up, that's in
Yeah.
California because I didn't used to live in Texas. Don't come at me, Texans. Sick of that shit. It's fucking stupid.
Your attitude has changed so much in the last few weeks, man. Don't fucking come at me anymore.
I don't want to hear it.
I like it.
I'm done. I moved here. So be it.
It's done. Just let me
It's
be.
done.
I'm one of you now. Leave it alone.
I didn't even come from California. I came from Portland.
People hate Californians in Texas.
They
right?
fucking really do. It's
yeah, because
crazy.
you're a bunch of liberal hippies moving into our state, rabble, 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 and you're like,
Yeah. When we moved to Austin in 2020, I just kept telling Lindsay, like, don't tell anyone where we came from. Like,
we've been here the whole.
tell
Tell
people.
everybody we've been here the whole time.
Yeah. Like no one needs to know it. If it comes up, like, where do you live? Just tell them where we live in Austin.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Where are you guys from? Oh, Riverside.
done.
Right here. We're right by downtown.
Not Riverside, California. That's worse.
Not Riverside,
You
California.
almost you'd rather live in Texas at that point.
Definitely.
I mean,
The Riverside neighborhood of Austin.
there you go.
Yeah. But what are we talking about?
Nashville hot chicken.
Everyone having hot chicken sandwiches.
Yes.
Yeah. So just regular chicken. And I got the tenders because
Because you're a child.
I'm a child. I'm a giant child.
Because you're like, I'm like, I cut you
I
right
don't
to
want
taste
to
because
choke.
you're a child.
I don't want to choke on a chicken bone, so I
No.
get the tenders.
Get the tendies. Yeah, get
Yeah,
your
get the
chicken
tendies.
tendies
I love
and
chicken
nuggies
tendies.
and yeah.
Get my nuggies, my tendies.
Yeah. So it was good.
Yeah, it was really good. The medium spice level definitely was good enough.
Was it hot? Would you say it was pretty spicy?
hot. Yeah. So we got the kid their plain chicken, and he ate so it didn't have the like spice juice.
It was just
on it.
breaded. Like that's
It was just breaded. Even that he had it and was like spice.
Kid's like, Dad, this sucks.
Dude, we
I
got
want
you-
McDonald's chicken
got you-
nuggies instead.
Plain chicken. So I
Right.
like tasting it and I was like, I think the breading had some spice in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like you're just eating mac and cheese again.
Again, for the umpteenth time on this road
Like
trip.
all
of food.
like he eats stuff. He's not like a super picky eater, but it's like when you go out places, the only like kids option like generally is like there's gonna be mac and cheese. He's either
Mac and
eating
cheese. That's it.
nuggies or
Yeah, there's chicken
and cheese.
nuggets and there's mac and cheese. Those are your staples of like any food place for kids.
yeah, for a kid.
And like a cheese.
You get real fancy grilled cheese.
Yeah. Oh yeah, grilled cheese. Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, the medium. So took it down. Like it was spicy.
Right.
I wasn't dying.
So you basically picked on a spice level. You're at 5 out of 10, basically. You're right in the middle.
Yeah, so it goes from plain that the kid got. I think the second level that Lindsay got was called Light Might.
I like that.
And then there's another one before medium, and it goes up to like 3x hot.
Yeah.
Like,
see, like
who the fuck is ordering?
So here's the thing. Like, I feel like I could do a 3x hot thing with chicken. Like, I have grown in the last 10 years or whatever just to love spicy hot food.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, yeah, I could look at something and go 3x hot. Could I eat it? Yeah. Do I want to deal with the consequences? No. That is what I've come to learn in my life.
So I was gonna go originally with the mild because I was like, I want to try this.
And you're on a road trip.
Yeah,
you don't want to die on a road trip.
I don't want to I think we were leaving the next morning, so another 3 a.m. start. And I was like, I don't want to be in the car.
You're flirting with potential disaster. Yeah, if you go higher than that.
This can go bad here, but I ended up going with the medium. So took it down, no problem. It was spice. There's spice to it, but like the tummy burns.
Oh, yeah, you got the tummy.
I wasn't dying, but like when you eat some spice, you just feel like warm in your stomach,
and you know that it's like it's a storm is brewing.
Yeah, and then I'd heard people talk on like different shows that had it. Like I don't know what spice level they got, but they're like, oh, like I have a headache, like I'm hallucinating. I was like, okay, like
if you're hallucinating from
that's good for the show. And then I was like, I started getting a fucking headache.
And you're like, oh my God, it's real.
I was like, oh my God, they're right. Like my head fucking hurts.
Starting to see things that aren't there.
So I made Lindsay drive back to the hotel after we left, but it was totally worth it.
Yeah, as long as it's worth it, you're like, it was so.
I know I sent you the picture. It was like that glowing red. I was like, yeah. This is fucking gonna hurt.
Dude, that's like my whole thing. I'm like, I love spicy food. And there are certain places that I get spicy food from that even though I know I'm gonna get that food, I know I'm gonna deal with the consequences later.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna suck. You gotta deal with it, but I'm gonna order it anyway. And I don't know. I don't know what it is about food that makes us do that.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. It's only food. It's not like you've like accidentally shot yourself with a nail gun once and you're like, you know what? I know what it feels like. I'm just gonna do it again and deal with the consequence later. It's one of the. You're like, I've eaten this food. I know it's gonna burn me. It's gonna burn on the way in. It's gonna burn on the way out. It's gonna burn while it's brewing. Like the whole thing. It's uncomfortable. You feel bad, but then you go, but it was so good.
It was so good.
It was so good.
And honestly, if we had more time and went back, like next time we go, I'd probably get the hot.
I'd do it again.
I would.
See, I think that's a thing where I would just do it. Like if I was on like a road trip with the guys or something like that, we'd probably be adding, getting each other. Just go, come on, man, just do the hot,
right?
Do it, yeah. Because guys are idiots, man. We'll just do anything to sit there and go puff our chests out and go, well, you pussy, you only had the medium, the rest of us got the 3x or whatever. There's something about guys that just drives stupidity out of us more than anything else.
I gotta see someone do that 3x.
See, I think I would do it. I've done ghost pepper challenges before.
Okay. You've done like the like potato chip of death, and
I haven't done the one chip challenge. That's the one you're talking about. The one chip where you order it. It's a bag with one chip in it. Sucks. I haven't done that. Trying to think. I think I talked to you about this one time, but it was off the recording. So I guess it's a good time to bring this in for everybody. The Buffalo Wild Wings challenge I did with
I remember this. Yeah.
And Steve. So we're at Buffalo Wild Wings one day, and this is what I'm talking about, like stupidity of guys doing guy things, right? And so we're sitting there, we're like, Buffalo Wild Wings has this blazing challenge. So we asked the folks there, we're like, what is it? And they're like, ghost pepper. It's ghost pepper. You have to sign a waiver to do it and everything. And we're like, oh, you have to sign a waiver? That sounds sweet.
Once what into the picture, like just
right. But that it also harkens back to what I was saying about guys. You're like, yeah, any sane person would go, if there's a waiver involved, this is a bad idea. But you're sitting there with all your guy friends and you're like, but there's a waiver involved.
It's
that
the
usually
look,
comes
it's
with
the,
glorious victory.
it's the look around the table and like everyone kind of just like shrugs. Like no one's gonna say it's a bad idea.
But everybody
Everyone
knows it's a bad idea.
But the shrug is just like, all right.
So of course, you remember Kyle, real tall?
Yeah.
So Kyle says, well, why don't we play this smart? Why don't I just order one order of the blazing wings so each of us can try one wing to see how we stack up? Like, can we do this? So he does. They bring out the wings. We each take one. I eat it, and I'm like, fuck, that really sucks. That sucks a lot. That's really, really hot. And Nicole was there, my wife, and she's like, nope, I'm not doing it. This is a stupid idea. But then there's the guys. And like I said, it's one of those like, I'll do it if you do it. And then it's like, well, if you do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
See, girls don't do this. The ladies don't do this. It's just a guy thing. It's like a guy that's sound like find something that smells horrific.
It's just
the first thing we do is you got to smell this, right? To your
deep
friend.
down, we're all secretly trying to kill each other.
Yeah, we're a bunch of savages.
It's a primal.
There's just something about it. So of course we sit there and we're like, okay, that was really hot, but we're all still here. If we're all still here, we can do the challenge. So we do. So this person comes around with the platter for each of us, and you had to eat. It was 12 wings in 6 minutes, and they were all the ghost pepper wings. So I get my 12. Chris Facenda gets his 12, and Steve gets his 12. It's only the three of us. Kyle backed out of it too. He's like, "No, fuck that. I'm not doing it. This is too hot for me."
Smart man.
Yeah, he was the smart one. So. Of course, we're sitting there, and they have like this guy from the restaurant comes over with like a bullhorn, and he's telling the restaurant like, "Hey, these three idiots are about to try the stupidest challenge we have at the restaurant." So the whole restaurant's staring at our table. So now you feel the pressure. So now you're sitting there like,
there's no backing out.
If I don't perform, I have an entire restaurant shaming me. So the guy goes 3, 2, 1, go. And Steve does this like cartoon thing. Think of like a cartoon character like dipping the like chicken wing in the mouth and just pulling it out, and it's just bone left, right? So he was straight up doing that. I mean, it was impressive. He did the entire challenge in like 3 minutes or something like that. Oh my
God.
And you had 6 minutes to do it. So I mean, he just killed this. And I'm sitting there and I'm just methodically, but I'm consistently eating the whole time. And I finished it with 60 seconds left on the clock. So I did it with a full minute left. And then there was Chris Facenda. And Chris is a unique character, to say.
I wish
everybody could know Chris. He's one of one. But Chris comes up with this idea. And let me preface it with the rules to the challenge were you cannot drink, you cannot touch a napkin, you cannot do anything other than grab chicken with your hands and put the chicken in your mouth. That's it. That was part of the rules. If you do anything else, you're disqualified. So no drinks, no napkins, no nothing. So he goes, doesn't say I can't wipe the sauce off on my face. So he starts taking the chicken wings and the flats and the legs and the flats, and he starts smearing the ghost pepper sauce off the wing onto his cheeks as he's eating. So now his cheeks are starting to swell because of the capsaicin. So he's like, his cheeks are just getting redder and fatter, and his face is swelling up, and he's just chowing down. So he eventually finishes with 10 seconds left on the clock. So all three of us beat the challenge. We all got the t-shirt. We all got the picture on the wall. And the first thing that we all want to do is just go wash our hands off. So I think Steve went first because he was the first one done. I went second, just fully. So I probably washed my hands 3 times in the bathroom while I was
surgeon style.
Yeah, I don't want that getting on anything. So Chris Facenda walks in there, as Chris would do, and he just goes, I'm just going to do a light wash of my hands and take a piss. So, so he comes back to the table and he doesn't say much. This is all he says. Guys, I have to go to the doctor. I think I'm in trouble. So we're like, what'd you do? And he's like, I took a piss. And we all knew what that meant. And we're like, oh, did you wash your hands? And he goes, not good enough. So he's sitting there, his junk swelling up in his pants. He's got cheeks pooched out like a chipmunk, like full of nuts in his mouth, basically. And he just leaves. He just takes off. He's gone. Like, we didn't see him again for the rest of the day. Steve's sitting there and he's like, well, it's not too bad. and I'm sitting there. I went home after, and I'm like, started getting the fire guts, and it didn't stop for 4 days, man. I worked through that for 4 days. It was absolutely
That's horrid.
miserable. But that's my little side tangent to the hot chicken. But
Never do that again.
We're coming full circle, man. So we're back in Nashville again. You've had your hot chicken.
Yeah.
Your wife drove you back to the hotel. Are you guys on to the next location at this point?
Yeah, so we just hung the rest of that day, and then from there we drove to the ATL and spent less than 24 hours there, but we just like crammed in as much as possible.
Why did you guys go all the way to Atlanta to spend less than 24 hours there?
Just because, so the initial plan, we were going to hit Nashville, and then on the way back, we were going to drive straight to Dallas and stay with Lindsay's best friend for a couple days. So we're going to do like another 3 days and then drive home. Right. It's only like 5 hours from Dallas to San Antonio.
Only 5 hours.
Only 5 hours. That's nothing. But something came up, so we ended up having to, reschedule that half of the trip. So we're just like, well, let's go somewhere we haven't been before. Like, what's close-ish? Like, or Atlanta.
Jacksonville. Did you go to Jacksonville?
We did not go, but we got our Florida mug
from Mississippi.
Yeah, from Mississippi. You heard the episode, everyone.
That's right.
That's
here. You're this far.
I assumed if you're listening to this, you listen to that show.
And if you didn't, stop right now, go back, listen to that, and then pick up where we.
And then come back.
Yeah.
Now you're back.
So now, and now you're back. Welcome back, everybody.
Back. Yeah. So Atlanta's only 4 hours from Nashville, so that was
That's
it. Yeah.
I didn't know it was that close.
It was super close.
Like the map, like my brain map is like those. They seem like further apart.
Yeah.
But...
There's this weird section of the trip. So we drove down. There's a weird spot you hit. We passed a "Welcome to Georgia" sign.
Okay.
Drove a few miles, and then went through a "Welcome to Tennessee" sign.
Okay.
I forgot to look this up again when we got there, and then so we went from Tennessee to Georgia to
Tennessee to Georgia to Tennessee,
and then back to Georgia for the rest of the trip.
Does the state just like zigzag, and you're driving straight?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I was guessing. There's got to be some weird like.
What are you folks out in Tennessee doing with your signs?
That's so weird.
Are you guys just trolling people, putting like "Welcome to Tennessee" signs everywhere?
Or was it Georgia trolling?
It could be. Maybe it's both. Maybe you never left the state in the first place.
They're in cahoots.
Yeah, they would be.
Yeah.
So now you're going from ATL to where?
Then ATL, we started to drive home.
Did you do anything in Atlanta, or did you just like pass?
Yeah, we went out so we got there early. We hit up a chicken and waffle restaurant. Why wouldn't I?
Because as one does.
And it was delicious. And I got a Tiger Woods to drink, which was an Arnold Palmer with cold brew.
Really? That's a Tiger Woods?
Just fucking so good.
So it's lemonade, iced tea, and cold brew?
And cold brew.
Like in my head, that sounds awful.
Yeah, I'd actually had a version in Portland when we lived out there. And I just live everywhere.
You're just a nomad.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm ready to move again.
Yeah, you're done. You're already done with San Antonio.
We've been here for almost a year. It's time.
We're on to Fargo, everybody. We're going to North Dakota.
Yeah, but actually, it's super good. Like this version of Atlanta was the best one I've had.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's a super weird combo.
What does it taste like? Is it sweet? Is it?
It's not super sweet because the cold brew kind of, brings the sweetness down.
It's got a bitterness to the cold brew.
Yeah,
so kind of toned down.
I don't know why those flavors should not work,
but they work.
Yeah, but it works. It's delightful.
I like that. I'll have to try that someday.
We also hit up we're big coffee drinkers. There's a place called Cold Brew Bar, which just had a bunch of cold brew on tap.
I love that.
I want to say it was like 14 taps.
See, I love
a bunch
coffee.
On nitro. Like, it's fucking awesome. So we got they had one called the Captain.
The Captain? Was that one of the? Okay, it's cold.
Yeah, brew. So it was one of their like signature ones. It's cold brew mixed with cereal milk. So Captain Crunch cereal milk.
So they actually do they sift the milk through
Yeah,
Captain
they
Crunch?
steep the milk in Captain Crunch cereal and get all the flavor. Yeah.
Could you imagine chocolate milk steeped through cocoa, like Cocoa Pebbles and stuff like that?
I have done that for ice cream. I stole that idea from someone. Yeah.
Just straight up, just steeped it in Cocoa Pebbles, took the chocolate milk out, and made Cocoa Pebble flavored ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I bet it tastes different than chocolate ice cream does too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely different. Yeah. It's good though.
It's a really good idea.
Yeah. It is. This place in New York does it.
They did it. They are doing it.
They done did it. And then I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to try that. So
that's right, because you're like a chef now.
I'm a little pastry boy.
You're a little pastry chef.
Yeah.
Dessert king.
That's what I do.
You're the PK, pastry king.
I like sugar.
Sugar and I get along.
My fucking sweet tooth has gotten so bad. Like the older I get, it's like the sweet
dude. That's so weird because I went the opposite direction. So I used to have like a major sweet tooth, like everything all the time. I was always eating candy. I was always eating chocolate, stuff like that. Now I'm just sitting there like I like the savory stuff now. I would rather eat a bag of get into some potato chips than some sweets or candy or something like that. I'd rather have potato chips than ice cream.
Yeah,
but I do love ice cream.
This is back to original version of me. Because when I was younger, I would stash we'd go to the grocery store and I'd get, you know how when you're younger you just throw stuff in the basket and your parents they don't know.
Yeah. Or you just hope it just kind of goes home with you.
So I'd always get a bag of Keebler Elf cookies, a bunch of the gummy octopus things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And our favorite beverage, the Mountain Dew Code Red.
Code Red, yeah. Sponsor us, by the way, Mountain Dew.
Oh, it's so fucking good. I miss it so much sometimes.
I had one a week ago, dude. So good.
I had one, I think a couple weeks ago. It holds up.
It does. It's delicious. Just really good. It's so good. It has also, no business being that good.
No, underrated is grape soda.
Ooh, I don't know. So okay, growing up, I remember having Welch's grape soda.
Mm-hmm.
But now that doesn't really exist anywhere. I haven't seen a Welch's grape soda in 15 years.
And I hadn't seen one in a super the hotel lobby in New Orleans had Fanta grape soda.
Fanta grape or Crush soda still does grape?
Fanta grape.
Okay, yeah. Fanta. Specifically Fanta.
Yeah, it was so fucking good. I don't know why. It just looked really good that day. I'd never see it. I never drink it. And I was just like, oh, I want that. I want purple drink.
Funny enough, I hadn't had this was just this over the weekend actually. I hadn't had orange soda in years.
It's amazing.
And
right?
I went to a Carl's Jr. I was just I'm gonna just pull through the drive-thru real quick. I was on my way home somewhere.
Did you get your double Western?
I did. I got the double Western with the crisp cut fries and an orange Fanta. I hadn't had an orange Fanta in forever. It's been decades. And it just hits. It hits, man. It's so refreshing.
I crushed many on this trip. Any place that had orange soda, I was just oh, I'm just gonna get orange soda.
I hadn't had
I don't drink soda.
Yeah,
if water and coffee, and that's pretty much all I have.
If I drink soda, it's in a mixed beverage.
Yeah,
it's a mixer for me. That's it. Other than that, I'm an iced tea drinker. That's what I do.
Ooh.
Yeah, iced tea.
A sweet tea?
Yeah, I do like sweet tea. But I'll just do a lemon tea, or if I go to my favorite sweet tea, you're gonna say it's weird, it's McDonald's.
McDonald's has the best sweet tea outside of the South, I think.
Okay, so you agree. I'm not crazy.
Yeah. No.
Because I love
I think lots of people agree with that. I don't
know what they do with it.
Yeah.
But I've had sweet tea from Chick-fil-A. I've had it from Popeyes. I've had it from all of these Southern style places that are fast food or whatever. But I'm something about the McDonald's sweet tea is just superb.
It's just McDonald's beverages for whatever reason. They're Coke.
Dude, you get a fountain Coke.
Yeah. That's on another level.
Yeah. It just tastes different. But
I want to get to the bottom of this. Someone probably already has, but
A McDonald's spokesperson told the New York Post that's not the case, saying, despite the speculation, there's no secret formula to our recipe. Still, they do have a few tricks up their sleeve to ensure their Coke tastes as good as it does. In a nutshell, McDonald's takes their Coke dispensing very, very seriously.
So on Friday, we were trying to figure out, like, what are we going to do for, like, what are we going to get for dinner on Friday? And I sat there on the couch and I looked at my wife and I was like, let's go get a Costco chicken bake. So
yes,
we drove to Costco, which is only like 10 minutes from us. We go to Costco, didn't do any shopping, literally just went to the food court. We ordered ahead and got a Costco pizza, but I'm like, I want a chicken bake. So I got the chicken bake, and they don't have Coke products at their fountain things. It's all Pepsi products.
Yeah.
So I'll say this, Costco has the worst fountain Pepsi ever.
Yes.
It's so diluted with just fizzy carbonated water.
Fizzy water.
Yeah, their mixture at every Costco is way off in their fountain drinks.
Yes.
I don't know what it is. Like the chicken bakes, great. Hot dogs, great. Pizza, great. Soda, what are you doing? I don't understand. Go to McDonald's.
I get their was it their cold brew mocha freeze thing?
Oh, I got that maybe a month ago or so. Oh my God. That was the first time I had it and it changed my life.
This truly is the Fat Boy Diaries episode.
It really is, dude. It just kind of turned out that way. All from your southern trip here. So we need to get back on track though. So you went from Atlanta to where next?
Then from Atlanta, started to drive home and went to Baton Rouge.
So you're back in Louisiana.
Back in Louisiana.
So you just drove through Alabama, drove through Mississippi, and said we don't need to stop other than food and gas.
Yeah.
Because the longer you're there, the worse it gets.
8 hours to Baton Rouge.
So Atlanta, Baton Rouge, 8 hours?
Yeah.
That's actually not that bad. I would have thought that's further apart.
Pretty much every section was 8 hours except the Nashville Atlanta day.
Yeah, that's just a hike.
Those are our day off.
Yeah. So Baton Rouge. So now you've come full circle. You've gone Louisiana, Nashville, Atlanta. Don't need anything in Alabama and Mississippi. Now you're back in Louisiana.
I did honestly want to stop in Birmingham.
That's the only place in Alabama that I would ever stop.
Fucking really cool. Like it looked like a big city. Like it looked nice. Like we drove kind of, I think the highway takes you straight through downtown.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like looking down. I wasn't driving that section, and like the streets all looked huge.
Yeah.
Everything looked nice. They have like the UAB?
Oh yeah.
Is right there. So you can see like their football stadium and all their other stuff. They have a G League team.
Who's the G League team down there?
It's for the Pelicans. It's the Birmingham Squadron.
The Squadron?
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool name.
It is a cool name.
I like that.
But I would have stopped there if we had more time, but
yeah.
We just went to Buc-ee's.
Just Buc-ee's.
I love Buc-ee's.
So you went to Buc-ee's and then on to Baton Rouge.
Okay, so then we went to Baton Rouge.
What'd you do there?
We went to go see Mike the Tiger.
What's that?
That is LSU's real tiger mascot.
Oh, they have a real tiger?
They have a real tiger on campus at all times.
Is that when you sent me the picture at the LSU stadium?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw.
So
what are they doing keeping a tiger on campus?
And there's been like, I don't know how many iterations of, it's always Mike the Tiger.
Sure.
But they have like little plaques for all of the past Mike the Tigers.
Sure.
They have like, it's a super nice like enclosure.
So it's like a nice little zoo area.
Yeah.
So can you imagine like what they had to jump through as far as like legal hoops to go, we want to
we're going to keep a live tiger on campus.
On a school campus at all times.
Yes.
Did they bring them out for football games and stuff?
Yeah, because
make like
we walked up to kind of like there's like a driveway because we went to go look at like the track stadium. Sure. And if you look behind the tiger enclosure, they have like a little yellow cart with bars.
They drive them around it.
They just back up and get them in.
And Mike gets in and he's like, let's roll.
But we went. So we got to Baton Rouge. It felt like it was hot the entire trip, but this felt like ungodly. Like this is the hottest day
it was punishing.
Yeah. So we didn't want to do the zoo and just be out in the sun. So I was like, let's take him to see this single tiger. and then we'll leave.
Right.
But like the amount of people that show up just to see this thing.
Can you just like roll up and just go look at them, or do you have to like buy
you
a
just
ticket?
drive up
or...
onto the campus, park your car right there.
How did you find out about this?
I think I saw it on the list online. I was trying to find like what's there to do.
Right. So you could just like
visit Mike the Tiger. Yeah.
So anybody can just drive on campus and go look at this tiger at any time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mike the Tiger.
Mike the Tiger. There. So you
what
saw Mike.
We saw Mike. The main point of our stop was while we were in New Orleans, we found what might be our favorite coffee place of all time now.
Why?
We're big iced coffee drinkers, but we don't like really sweet drinks.
Right.
So most iced coffees are like super flavored.
You think of your Starbucks Frappuccinos.
Yeah.
Where it's just a sugar bomb.
It's a sugar bomb.
Yeah.
But there's this place in New Orleans called French Truck Coffee, and they have an iced coffee with like their coffee with like chicory added in. And it was just like
what's chicory?
Chicory
is that a southern thing?
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure it's an herb.
I've never even heard of it.
And you can kind of steep it like tea or coffee, essentially. Okay. I looked it up because I wasn't sure what it was either, really. Like right. I'd heard of it because I'd been to like Cafe Du Monde before.
Sure.
But I guess they added this to coffee to make their coffee supply last longer. And like the flavors of it kind of work with the coffee to bring out like a little more sweetness, and
they just pair really nicely.
Yeah. It's just so good. It's the best iced coffee ever. And
nice. I like that.
Crushed ice. So
is it that crushed ice that you think of where it's just like the little tiny, like almost square chips of ice? And man, that ice hits different.
It does. It
like
really
anywhere
does.
that has that kind of ice, like you're doing whatever you're doing it right.
That's so good.
So you go get your coffee.
Yeah. So we pretty much were just happy just to get coffee. Went and saw Mike. I think we just went to the hotel. Or what did we do? Oh, we went to the Mall of Louisiana.
The Mall of Louisiana.
Because as the state capital, I was expecting just the most amazing mall ever. In Louisiana.
The way you're talking about this sounds like the most disappointing place in the entire trip.
It was a mall.
That was a mall. Yeah. Yeah. The coolest mall I've ever been to, dude. I went to the Mall of America.
We talked about that.
It is worth it.
We were trying to decide if we'd ever want to go, and I want to go, and she
worth
does.
It.
Worth it?
Yeah. I did that when
I
went
the
up
roller
to
coaster.
We didn't go on it, but it's there. I visited the Mall of America when I was up in Minneapolis visiting Steve year and a half ago, 2 years ago, whatever, 2 years ago now. So it was one of the places. He's like, "You want to go to Mall of America?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Let's check it out." It is huge. It is gigantic. They have a theme park in the middle of the wall there. Right next to the theme park is the biggest Lego store I've ever seen. With like,
Lego.
I mean, you're talking about like 20-foot tall Lego sculpture kind of things. It was amazing. And the mall's huge. I mean, there's everything that any mall has ever had is in that mall.
Let's go back to the theme here. What's the food court situation like?
Oh, dude, it's not a food court. It's food courts. There's multiple food courts. So you've got your regular mall food courts with your Sbarros, your hot dog on a sticks, things like that. There was a Dave and Buster's inside the mall. There was, everything. There was restaurants. There was Red Robin's. There was all the mall foods, but it was all of the mall foods. I mean, some malls might have an Orange Julius. This place is like, well, it might have one on each end, kind of thing. It's just gigantic. Yeah. So that was definitely cool. Highly recommend. It's a bucket list thing. It was one of those things growing up, like watching the Mighty Ducks when they're rollerblading through the mall, and I'm like, I'm standing in a very historical building right now. It's where the Mighty Ducks went rollerblading. So yeah, highly recommend it.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. So you went to the mall and
to the mall.
Disappointed because it's just
disappointed. I think we just went to the hotel after, hung out, got some fancy tacos after.
You're probably really tired at this point from all the driving.
Yeah. So we decided not to do another 3 a.m. drive back home. We're gonna sleep in.
We're just gonna go when we wake up.
Yeah, took our time.
So was that the last stop on the trip?
That
Baton
was the
Rouge
last
and home?
stop. Then home.
That's got to be another long drive, right?
Another 8 hours. Yeah,
Oh God. Dude,
and then
Jesus. And now you're back.
back.
Well, that's quite the adventure. I mean, I took an adventure of a smaller scale than you did.
Where'd you go?
Comic-Con was while you were gone.
Oh
So
yeah,
I was at Comic-Con. So I'll talk about that a little bit here. I only went Saturday and Sunday. It is they usually do preview night Wednesday, and then it goes from Thursday through Sunday. I was stuck working, so I went over the weekend. But one of the places that was my favorite was Movies.
how was Movies?
I loved it, man. Movies was so good. So essentially what we had to do is Kevin Smith put out a thing, said we're doing a Movies pop-up in downtown San Diego. It was like loosely connected to San Diego or Comic-Con because it was just during the same time.
Yeah,
And so he's doing all like the panels at the convention center. He's got the pop-up restaurant going where he was doing all his podcasts were in the restaurant too.
okay.
So he had like the stage built in the restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Go get your cow tipper burgers like we got. So we got some cow tippers.
How were the cow dippers?
They were good. I'm not
Yeah?
gonna lie. They were pretty good. It was I think it was just like the restaurant's burgers that they did the thing
Okay,
at.
yeah.
But the place is good. Like it's a good restaurant anyway, so they make
Uh-huh.
good food. Comes out with like Movies wrapper paper on it, and it comes with like a
Perfect.
Movies box. I got like souvenir Movies cups. When you open the door, it went.
Yes.
So it was like totally authentic. They had the quick stop signs outside, like it was like legit. And you go in and everything is Movies colors. So it's all purple and yellow. It's got the Movies cow everywhere, the mascot. It had TVs with like Kevin Smith stuff playing everywhere. They had Chronic Con beer instead of Comic Con. So that was really good. That was I was going to buy a 4-pack, but as you know, I made another purchase instead.
You
So
did. You
their
did.
beer was expensive. Like for a 4-pack, it was like $25 or $30.
Yeah, that's pretty expensive.
Yeah. So I'm like, I got my beer. I'm satisfied with it.
Yeah.
The beer was solid. And then they had next to the podcasting stage like a merch booth where you could buy merch and they would just sign it for you. So I got I'll put these on camera for everybody watching. So I got my signed Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and Jason Mewes signed it Snooch. So
Yeah, he did.
we got that, and Kevin Smith's on the other side over there. And then got the OG Clerks where he wrote Snooch again on the bottom. And
I
Kevin
think
Smith signed
I have a poster that they signed somewhere, and I'm pretty sure he wrote Snooch on it.
He did, I'm sure.
That's just
And
part
then-
of his signature.
And then you got the Movies Funko Pop that Kevin Smith signed.
That one's so good.
I absolutely love this one.
That one's the best.
The light's a little punishing to it right now, so I'm kind of trying to get all angles on it.
There you go.
That's a good one. So I got it in a little protector shell on top of it now, so the signature can't get smudged or anything. But yeah, I got all this stuff at Movies. After that, we went down to they had a Dungeons and Dragons tavern, because you know how they're doing.
Yeah.
You know they're doing a
Movie,
Dungeons and Dragons
yeah.
movie, right? So it's
It
like
looks good.
Hugh Grant and everybody. It looks
Yeah.
ridiculous. Chris Pine's the bard. I'm like, this is great. So you walk in. We had to get in line for it. It's another thing you had to buy tickets for ahead of time. Like Movies, you had to buy the tickets to go to Movies, and you had to buy the food in Movies. But I'm like, I'm doing it. So Dungeons and Dragons Tavern. You go in. It's really dark inside. There's like fog all over the ground. And you walk in and they just hand you a drink. They're like, here you go. It's like dragon's blood or whatever.
Oh, I like that.
It was like a Moscow Mule, but it was in like a cup that they had like a green light. So everybody's cups in this dark room were glowing green.
Ooh. Do you have to
So
keep it?
No, they were glass mugs. They were really cool. I mean, I guess you could have stolen it because they had
Yeah.
like a little Dungeons and Dragons thing on. Nobody was really looking, but so everybody got one drink. So naturally I got two. I went in with my buddy and he was just like, they just handed them out to everybody. If we drink ours like really fast, just pound it, they're going to give us another one. And they did.
It's true.
So they were like, did you guys get a drink? And we're like, nah.
What drink?
What drink? So we got two, and they do a little show with like a dude that's like a bard that's singing like a drinking song. So
Did you have
yeah,
to roll
everybody's
for it?
swinging their mugs around, and you're stomping on the ground, singing a song with them. and then they had more effects, like special effects, like sounded like a dragon was running across the roof. And they had this big like HD screen that took up half the restaurant in the back. So this like dragon pops up and it's really interactive. So like he breathes fire and smoke machines blow smoke across the restaurant again. So that was cool. And of course we walked through like the exhibit hall, saw all the stuff, spent way too much money.
Of course.
As you do at Comic-Con. I bought the Xbox mini fridge. So I have that in
fantastic.
have that in my office over here. Looks like an Xbox Series X that opens up and it's a fridge. I have the brightest light ever that came with it. I got an energy sword like lamp from Halo that'll light up the entire room, and I don't need to turn that on right now, but it's very blinding. Got some posters, got some stuff from Mondo, some limited art prints, got the Back to the Future one, got a couple Black Widow ones, got a Silver Surfer print. What else? I mean, just a bunch of like shirts, apparel, some Funko Pops.
You did get a lot of stuff.
Dude, I don't even know. But I one of my favorite things was I got my Deadpool soda signed by the creator of Deadpool at Comic-Con. So I got his signature on there. So that's another thing you can get. But what's really neat about Comic-Con is like a lot of the actors and the directors and writers and people are there, so you can get autographs and stuff. So if you ever got stuff that you want signed, that's the place to do it. And then other than that, just been chilling, just been hanging out,
doing the stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna laugh. So recently, I have an Xbox Series X. I've always been an Xbox gamer. I have been playing Power Wash Simulator. you literally power wash things with a power washer.
So when I became a homeowner here,
do you own a power washer?
One of the first things I did was get a power washer.
So you can do the real thing. I'm over here on Xbox power washing things.
Nothing more satisfying.
Dude, it's just like in the video game. Like I'm sitting there going, this is so stupid, but it's so satisfying.
It's delightful.
It just hits different, dude. So
it's the best.
For all you Xbox gamers out there, Power Wash Simulator is free on Game Pass. I highly recommend downloading it for free, sitting on your couch, maybe grab a drink, zone out, and just power wash some stuff.
Let me know when they come out with the other most soothing thing that I enjoy, which is steam cleaning carpets.
It's like the same thing inside. It's like power washing inside.
There's nothing better than taking that dirty bucket water and dumping it and just seeing how filthy your carpet was.
See, that's one thing we don't have to deal with. We have hardwood floors at this house, but I have used a carpet cleaner before. And
when we left
when you're dragging it across the carpet and there's that line of like, it's just clean with grime on each side. Just hits different.
Yeah.
These are the things as adults we never thought we would just get satisfaction out of.
No.
Power washing and carpet cleaning.
But in fairness, if I had a plethora of power washing videos like that are available online now, like I probably would have gotten into it as a kid. Maybe taking a different career path, become a pro power washer.
It's just ridiculous. Like of all the things you could do that's just so oddly satisfying, power washing is it.
Really is.
I don't know.
Power washing should be a sport. Like
could you like ultimate power washing? It's just like the fastest guy to power wash a driveway wins.
Yeah. Or they just go out to like some crazy dump. They all meet there. It changes.
Power wash the whole dump.
Power wash.
Oh my god!
Like everyone gets like the same square footage section, and it's just whoever can get it the cleanest. And like everyone gets 10 minutes.
This could be like an Olympic sport.
Why
you imagine like getting a gold medal in power washing?
That'd be amazing. You know what I do think should be an Olympic sport is pro wrestling.
Wrestling, like scripted pro wrestling should be an Olympic sport.
So hear me out.
But you would know who would win the
but it doesn't matter,
silver and bronze,
because you're doing it as a performance. So essentially the rig system that is figure skating,
right?
So you get judges, So you get two wrestlers from the same country. They put on a match. They get scored. There you go. There's your
Okay,
Olympic
so
sport.
you want essentially pro scripted wrestling,
Yes.
unscripted.
No, they can be scripted.
Oh, you still want it scripted?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's essentially two wrestlers putting a match together, both from the same country. That's their
I see what you're
performance.
saying, and,
And then they
their
get scored.
performance as a team
Yes.
is scored.
So their match is scored.
So it's essentially who can do the best dance.
Yeah. Like figure skating.
I like that.
Yeah.
I approve. Now that I understand the concept that you're bringing to the table,
I think it would be fantastic.
I think it'd be
It's
good.
so much more entertaining than
I'm waiting for
like tons of sports I can imagine. Or
I'm waiting for pickleball to be an Olympic sport at some point.
ultimate frisbee,
Ultimate frisbee should be.
disc golf.
Disc golf, sure, you can make an argument. I think golf is in the Olympics, right?
Yeah,
Right? I think so.
it is. Fucking golf.
Okay.
Damn it.
Yeah, if you can do golf, you can do disc golf. But I'm still waiting for pickleball. Pickleball is going to be an Olympic sport. It's going to
I
happen.
want axe throwing. Axe throwing needs to be an Olympic sport.
Oh yeah, you saw the axe throwing thing I got. We haven't
Axe throwing
podcasted.
looks so
since I got
fun.
that. I got the axe throwing thing at Costco. It's like little plastic axes, but they're actually like weighted. Then you throw them into this big, axe throwing target. It's fun.
Costco has the best stuff.
It is.
I'm
and
excited for the future Costco episode that I'm going to do.
It's happening. It's
gonna be
happening. Yeah, we're starting to build up like the ultimate backyard barbecue game selection here. We've got like axe throwing, we've got the regulation beer pong table, we've got the cornhole set, like we've got the gas fire grill in the backyard.
I like that.
It's just gonna be the ultimate like barbecue house.
I wish we could grow grass in the backyard. Nothing
It's too hot in
lives
Texas.
here. Nothing lives here.
No, people
I've had-
shouldn't live there.
I've had succulents and cactus dying outside.
That shouldn't happen.
I know. There's fucking nothing.
They're built to survive without water and
It's insane.
just punishing heat.
It's fine.
It's fine
It's fine. I
until
stay
the air
indoors.
conditioner broke.
I know. Don't.
Should you put that hate on me, Ricky Bobby? Oh man, last year that happened to us in September out here, and September is like the hottest month in San Diego. It just sucks, and our air conditioner went out, and we didn't get it fixed for like 2.5 weeks. And
Oh no.
I work from home, so in my office right here, I was literally working, and it was 91 degrees in my house. It was absolutely miserable. We had all the windows open, all the fans going. We had like all the stand-up fans going, like we had doors open to the backyard, like fan blowing air in, because outside it's only 89 degrees. So
Yeah.
when it's 91 in the house, you're like, those 2 degrees make a hell of a difference. So it was just, I remember sitting on the couch and you're just sweating. You're not doing
Just
anything.
Donald
You're just
ducking it.
sweating. Yeah,
Just Donald ducking it on a leather couch.
just Winnie the Pooh up there, just Pooh bearing it up. Just no pants on, just shirt rolled up to your belly button, just getting all the air you can. Yeah, it was miserable. I don't recommend it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Make sure and get maintenance done in your AC units. That's the moral of the story.
Yes.
Needs to happen.
Yes, please.
But yeah, what else has been going on?
That's it, really. Just traveling.
Just traveling the south,
Just
man.
the trip. Just the trip.
Do you have any more trips in the future planned? What's the next thing you got?
We are, for our anniversary in October, going to Marfa, Texas.
What is that?
So, if I understand correctly, it's this small town in West Texas.
I don't quite know where we're going, but we're going.
And this like eccentric artist moved out there and like built like himself like a fancy home. Like I think his family still lives there.
Okay.
And it became like an art hub for people. So people started coming out and kind of like seeing where he was at. And so it's, the original people that live there. And then now I think it's a lot of like hipsters moved in and there's like a hipster area.
Sure.
So we're going to do that.
Nice.
And we rented out this cool like hotel chain we follow has a property out there. You can get like a teepee, or you can rent like a doped out like RV
Nice.
We wanted to do the RV, but they're all sold out for our anniversary weekend. So the only option was to get a tiny house. So
Are you guys staying in a tiny house?
We rented a tiny house for 2 nights.
Oh my God. Those things that are like 75 square feet and that's it.
Yeah, it's tiny. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's tiny.
It's tiny.
But
This
no,
tiny house is tiny.
It looks really cool. So I think it's got like a sweet mural painted on like the side of it. It looked badass. So
You're gonna have to report back after the tiny house.
Just exploring all of Texas. And then I think my wife got us roped in. So we're already planning for next October.
Okay, so October 23.
October of 23. Got roped into a, what is it called? Timeshare pitch. One of those.
Which is why you can't go to the thing that I'm planning in October of 23. Which you should just leave and go with us.
I want to go. I'm continuing my tour of the South. I'm a true Southerner now. I'm a Southern gentleman.
I mean, you did just do a tour of the South. So you know all of the culture now.
Yeah. So for now we're going to do a Charleston, South Carolina, and then drive the 2 hours south to Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah is really cool. So I haven't been there, but Nicole did for work. And she said that Savannah was amazing. Yeah, she said it was amazing.
Only good things about Savannah.
There's like a pirate bar and everything she went to, and do the pirate bar.
I love pirates.
Yeah, there's a bar full of them.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he's a pirate.
God damn right he's a pirate.
Yeah. So do Savannah. That's also where they filmed Forrest Gump. Where he's sitting on like the bench. Apparently that's like a whole thing there in the park in Savannah.
I love Forrest Gump.
That's where Gump sat on the fence and told us, or the bench, and told his story.
Pretty much anytime we were driving through Alabama, anytime we saw a sign for any city name, we would yell something like something about Jenny going back to Greenbow, Alabama.
That movie is one of the greatest movies ever.
Oh, which, hold on, reminds me.
What do you got here? Oh, we got a hat change coming up. What do we got? We got
the Montgomery biscuits.
Oh, the Montgomery biscuits. Here we go.
This was their Forrest Gump night. So we got that retro biscuit man.
Dude, you literally just did a wardrobe change in the middle of the show.
I have so many hats. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, what was the hat you were sporting before?
That was the
it's hard to see the logo.
The Albuquerque. There we go.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Albuquerque Dukes.
Oh my God.
This is a brand.
You
These
probably
are
have
from Ebbets Field Flannels. Makes the best fucking shit ever.
You probably have the most eclectic hat collection of anybody I know.
Yeah. Also fitting for the road trip would have been. Oh, don't fall on me.
Just waiting for like 6 things to fall down.
This guy.
What's that?
The Biloxi Shuckers.
Oh my God.
From Mississippi.
Is that basically like, of all the things you bought, you just picked up hats along the way?
I had these. I've had
these. You're like, no, these are, I'm original with these.
These are, I have just, yeah. Minor league baseball teams have the best logos.
They do. I agree.
Best team names, best logos.
I agree. Because they're so ridiculous.
They really are.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's a stupid timeshare thing. You should just be going with us to Hawaii instead with everybody else.
Yeah. I'm going to eat a bunch of oysters, though. I don't think I've had oysters. I've had fried oysters.
Yeah.
But
I can't do oysters. I don't do that shit.
I don't know if I can do them.
It's like a sea booger, dude.
I'm going to try them baked. See how that goes.
A baked oyster.
A baked oyster.
So you don't want to just do like right out of the shell, put some sriracha on and
I don't know if I can do it.
It's just so boogery looking.
I have a weird texture thing.
Yeah, they look slimy and they're gross. I mean, I've tried them, but they're just gross, man.
I'll try the baked ones first.
I did fried. Intro to oysters.
It's the progression. You go fried, baked, and then you just shoot them, I guess.
Yeah. I don't understand the people that can just sit there and just down like dozens of oysters and go, I live for this.
I want to do that. I always hear
like an oyster platter.
Yeah, I always hear people talk about like, yeah, I go to this bar, I get a bunch of cheap oysters and a ton of beer, and I'm in my happy place.
But then
Like,
you have
that
the
sounds
worst
nice.
breath ever. Like, because the people that are doing that with the oysters are not drinking good beer. It's like a PBR. It's true.
Yeah.
You're not drinking good beer. It's like PBR Coors Light kind of stuff.
Have you gone? All right. I want to see what your most eclectic one is. The dive bars that do like a combo special. So, for instance, I don't remember how much I paid for either of these, but one bar was you got a PBR, a shot of whiskey, and a Lucy. So a single
Lucy.
cigarette. Single
Okay.
cigarette.
Okay.
So that was one of them.
That's the
I think that was
combo.
I think that was only like $5.
Do they like
That might
bring
be-
that
that
to your table?
That's what you get. You order it, they drop your beer, they give you your shot, and hand you your cigarette.
That sounds like the most like Mad Men Southern thing I've ever heard.
That was in LA.
That was
And
in
then-
LA?
Yeah. And another one in LA. I think that was in Hollywood.
Okay.
Another one, I think closer to East LA, you got, I think still a PBR, a shot of tequila,
But it's like Cuervo.
and it was like a bean and chorizo taco, like street taco. And it was fucking so good.
Oh my god. That's ridiculous.
That was a great combo.
I don't know what the best combo like that I've ever had was. I can't think of anything that I've had where it's just like completely outlandish like that.
And like I haven't seen
Yeah, I don't
I haven't
think
seen a lot of bars do that in a long time.
Yeah,
I would bring it back. You want to open a bar?
let's do that. What would you call it?
I don't know. What would we call it?
See, that's like the first concept you have to have is like you have to have the name.
Is the name.
first. Yeah, you got to, because you built the entire design.
Are you a
around the
fan
name.
of the themed bar?
Oh yeah,
I think there's
I
one
love
in
theme
Santa
bars.
Monica called I think it's Bigfoot Lounge. It's all like wilderness themed on
Oh
the
yeah,
inside.
I'd
I think it's
totally do
Bigfoot
something
Lounge.
like that.
Yeah. That's the way to go.
Do you remember the 24K Lounge?
I don't.
You remember we used to go down there like there was like a Tuesday night that me, you, Greg, and John would go down, and there was they'd have bands that played there, and it was in like I want to say Santa Monica or Beverly Hills,
Sounds
one
familiar.
of the two.
Maybe I do remember this
We
one.
go down the 405, and it was like a Tuesday night, and you guys had a coworker at Guitar Center that was playing in a band that
Yes.
would go there, and we'd go down and watch him.
Yes.
Yeah. That was
Yes,
random
The
memory.
Music Man.
Yeah. It was always the
Yeah,
24K
I remember
Lounge.
that.
We went down there like whatever, half a dozen times throughout.
That place was
like a year.
wonderful.
Yeah, it was a hike though. It was a hike to get down
Oh,
there. And we
yeah.
do that on like a work night.
I feel like everywhere we went was a hike.
It was because I mean,
There's nothing close to
well,
us
it's
at all.
there was nothing where you were living in Camarillo.
No.
Ventura had downtown Ventura, so
Yeah.
sometimes we would go down there, and
Not
sometimes
often, though.
no, we would. If we did, it was we usually just go to Mel's house instead of
Yeah.
actually down to the bars and everything.
Mel's house was the way to go.
Get the wild vibes
was-
going.
That was our own club.
It was me, you, and Mel.
Yeah. Real
That was-
club atmosphere.
That was good. And then
Wild Vines.
yeah, Wild Vines, man, the cheapest wine ever. It was like, wasn't it kind of fizzy too, if I remember right?
It might have been a little
Was it like
fizzy.
lightly
Yeah.
carbonated?
Yeah. Because that's when I was on hard liquor only.
Yeah, you weren't doing beer.
I hadn't done beer yet.
You hadn't grown up yet.
No. I don't think I
You-
grew up till I was like 24.
You got there eventually.
I did. It's
That's all
delightful.
that matters. Yeah. What was the beer that popped your beer cherry? What was the one that finally you were like, you know what? I do like beer.
When I first had beer before I got off beer.
What was your intro beer that made you like beer?
Oh, like beer.
Yeah, that made you go, you know what? I do like beer. What was that beer?
I think it was Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
That's an odd one because that one's got a little bit of a strong flavor.
You want to know the beer that kept me off of beer?
It's got to be Bud Light or Coors Light.
It was a Bud product that does not exist anymore. It was called BE. It was Budweiser Energy.
Oh
So the
no.
first time I got drunk
I don't even remember that.
was off of Budweiser Energy. Actually, in San Antonio was the first time I got drunk.
Yeah.
I came out here when I was 18, stayed with my uncle, and him and my cousin got me fucking shit.
Budweiser Energy.
Yeah. Budweiser Energy. Puked my brains out.
Yeah.
Then I didn't have beer until I was 24.
That'll do it. I've never even heard of Budweiser Energy, but that sounds awful.
Yeah. I think that was like the thing at the time. The trendy thing was alcoholic energy drinks.
Like Four Loko and
like
everything.
your Four Loko. Yeah.
God, I remember Four Loko.
So Budweiser Energy had a fucking cool can. I just remembered like the entire trip leading up to that day. And of course it was like the day before I left.
Right.
Just seeing it in all the gas stations. I was like, I want that. Like, that's the one for me.
As you're telling, I'm going to look this up. I need to see what this looks like because I don't remember. Let's see. Budweiser Energy. Oh, no. That looks terrible.
Oh, we have horrible news. Breaking.
What happened?
Vin Scully just passed away.
No. We just broke news on our podcast. That's never happened before.
Damn.
Wow, Vin Scully passed. Everybody, all right, we're going to hold a moment of silence here for a bit. Okay.
That was a good moment.
Dang, that's a tough one. He's quite the legend, man. Especially growing up in Southern California, listening to him call every Dodgers game ever.
Yeah.
Man, Vin Scully. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see that all over the news. I mean, he was really old, had a hell of a career, lived a long life.
94.
94 is quite the run.
It is.
Yeah.
I hope to see 94. My grandfather's 95.
God, I don't want to live that long.
He's still like,
I don't want to live that long.
I think he like just started using a walker this year.
So he's a good looking 95.
I think as good. I mean,
95.
Yeah,
that's
he was no Betty White, but
Betty White was a unicorn. She was 1 in a million. Yeah, we lost a bunch of people this year. Betty White, Vin Scully, bunch of people though.
No more.
No, this needs.
I will have none of it.
Yeah, we need to figure out how to become immortal now. But I also don't want to live forever. You know what? Never mind. I want like.
I feel like you might ask me the same question. Go ahead.
I was going to say, what's your ideal age to live through? Like, what's the number you want to hit where you feel like at that point you're satisfied? You did what you needed to do.
That's a great question.
Right?
85 seems like a good number.
At a certain point, you start regressing, and your quality of life goes down, and you wake up to a Groundhog Day of hell every year or every day.
Yeah. I think 85. 85 seems good.
That's fair.
Do you have any signs where you've told your wife, if I do X or you see me doing X, put me out of my misery?
I mean, the one thing I have said for sure, I may have done something like that along the way, but I basically said, if I'm in the hospital to the point where they're like, you're a vegetable, 0% chance of coming out of this, keep you on the machines or pull the plug. Mm-hmm. I'm like, pull the plug. I don't need to be living as a tomato my whole life.
Yeah.
But as far as if you see me do this, I don't think so. Did you?
No. Well, mine's either like, if it comes to a point where you have to like wipe my ass.
Oh yeah. I think that. Yeah. 100%. Like if I can't do that on my own, my dignity's gone. Just take me out back and put me down. Push me down the stairs.
Or if I've said, if you see me in like some like thigh high khaki shorts with like a tucked in polo shirt
with your white New Balance,
white New Balances and my white socks hiked up.
Oh yeah.
Fucking put me down, man.
So you're basically you don't want to have grandpa style. Remember grandpa style from back in the day?
I do remember grandpa style.
So you're all talking you're all talking about that.
Our favorite part of grandpa style, honestly, was I think it was my buddy Greg. His grandpa used to wear his hat a certain way, and we'd call it grandpa style. And the technique essentially was this.
Let's see it.
You take your hat and you don't like push it down. It just kind of like you gently just rest it atop your head. And it was never forced down. It was,
It's just sat up there.
just gently placed there.
It's just there.
It's nice.
It looks like you have a cone head though.
It does.
But like, dude, your hair's look at that glorious hair you got there.
See, full head of hair,
Shaking it around and everything.
full head of hair.
Yeah,
But
mine's just
hats
not
are
as
cool.
long right now because I got
Hats are just cooler.
They are. I always wear a
That's
hat.
what it comes down to.
I almost always wear one.
I love
Except that one podcast that I showed up without a hat. And you're like,
That
don't
was
ever,
weird.
You're like, don't ever do that again.
Yeah. It really threw me.
I know. That's what I was trying to do. Just gotta change it up sometimes, man. Throw a
You do.
curveball in there.
I'm trying to remember which hats I've worn on every episode so I don't repeat. I might have to. We're gonna have to check the video
You have to
records.
I gotta check the video for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I can't like I don't want to live to a point where I'm like can't wipe my ass, can't eat my own food,
No.
can't do anything without somebody else helping me do whatever it is, can't like put my own clothes on. Because at that point you're just like you're just a corpse waiting. Like
Yeah.
you're just waiting for the day that you don't wake up. That sucks.
I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't either, man. I want my freedom.
Sounds horrible.
It does sound bad. Like nobody should live like that.
No.
Well, I think this might be about the time where I go to eat dinner
And I go to sleep.
and you go to sleep because it's there's a time difference here. If it's almost 11 o'clock for you.
Yeah.
10:45.
But honestly, I'll probably dick around on my phone for like 2 hours and
I will upload our latest episode onto our hosting site. And by the time you all hear this would have been old news anyway.
I wonder how long after that episode this episode will go out.
I do too. I wonder. Because
This is a timeless episode, aside from the Vince Scully moment of silence.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Yeah. Other than that, it's pretty solid.
That's the only thing that's dated us. But a Vince Scully moment of silence is good anytime.
So now whenever the folks hear this, they're going to know how long or how far in advance we film and record all this stuff.
Yeah,
That's going to be funny because it's going to be completely irrelevant by the time everybody hears this.
it probably will be.
That's crazy to think about.
Because the episode we just recorded before this, I don't think will even go out till
God, that's probably going to be
we're in August now. It probably won't
November?
be November.
Yeah, I think November at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all you listening, we're in August right now. It is August 2nd of 2022 that we are recording this. We're getting these cranked out, but who knows how we'll do these in the future? Maybe we'll do some different formats, but I think we will be doing more bonus content going forward in some capacity or the other.
Because we do this anyway.
We do this
Just
anyway.
catching
Yeah,
up with each other.
yeah. This is what happens after every single podcast that we've ever done, basically. So this is where we just shoot the shit. And this is the injustice.
It's not the injustice. This is justice.
This is justice.
Because we used to be. We're gonna get into that in the next one.
That's right. Yeah, we should. Yeah, next bonus content we'll talk about.
We're gonna talk about that.
But this has been Justice is Served.
Bye.
Okay, bye.